All right, Orioles. So we are into a new episode this week, fresh out of our lesson.
Fresh out of our lesson.
Fresh out. And we have
Holy.
oh yeah, let's talk about the lesson separate. But before we go into that, holy moly, we have an amazing guest in our episode today.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I
so
can't wait.
it is Nat Cook,
Nat Cook.
who we know as 5-time Olympian in beach volleyball, who represented Australia across all those Olympics.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And she's just incredible. She's an absolute force to be reckoned with. She's done over 20 years of such high level sport and competition.
And advocates for
the athletes that are going through
now.
And she's doing some incredible things all off her own bat. So very excited to be hearing from her and taking something away from her life and what she's doing, and maybe we can put that into our lives and what we're doing.
Yeah, our dreams.
And,
our dreams.
Yeah, our hopes and dreams, that sort of resilience and strength and leadership and discipline.
Yeah.
All of those incredible things.
Yeah, so she will be joining us in a couple of minutes. But first, we are going to talk about our lesson.
Yes, where we got out of the arena and into the paddock. Which has got some, some up and down bits, shall we say, in the paddock.
Yep, lots of up and down bits.
Lots of up and down bits. And that's fine when we were walking around and, practicing going down little slopes and up little slopes. And, when you're riding a flat arena, you don't get to feel the horse move under you like that.
100%, right?
Yeah.
Like you just forget what going up and down things feels like on a horse, which is a very different feeling.
Yeah.
Very different. You have to recenter your body.
You do.
You have to rework yourself into it.
And that was sort of okay. But then Tracy sort of said, well, let's start trotting around that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I can trot up the hill. And she's like, no. You trot down the hill and then up the hill.
So I was a total baby. Total baby.
Well, maybe at the start, but by the end you rocked it.
But by the end. But the only reason I like, as you say, rocked it at the end was because I was pretty much being told I was a giant baby. and that is the best way to get me to not be a giant baby. But
it was scary.
It was
scary.
But I think, oh my gosh, it was so funny. But so Lisa, the owner of Racing Hearts, obviously came down, not obviously, but came down to watch us. And I think at one point you were like, he's just going really fast. And she's like, That's not fast.
I guess I did the walking, then I did the trotting, and then I did some cantering. And then he decided he'd quite like to go where Lisa was, which was at the gate to the way home. And he kept on sort of turning that way. So he'd do a few lovely slow canter strides, and then he'd go boom. And it felt like he was just about galloping. And I was like, he's going too fast. And she's like, oh, sweetheart.
That is not fast.
That is not fast. And that made me feel even worse.
And then she called bullshit on me being too scared to do the cantering up the hill. I was like, oh, God damn it. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was, I don't know. I sort of had a little flip out moment. You know what I was explaining to Tracy this morning, what it feels like. So, when you are you feel like in the car when you're driving, you're about to hit the person in front of you and your brakes you're not activating your brakes quick enough, right? And you have that split second where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to hit the car in front.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what the split second feels like when they're on a horse for me. It's like all of a sudden I have this split second like, oh, Jesus, like I'm really terrified so quickly. But then, thankfully, the brain activates and I go, oh, no, I know what to do.
Yeah.
I actually know what to do. So, Hebe, who I was running, decided he wanted to actually be home with his friends down the other end of the paddock at one point. So he sort of just did this like little jolt, like he was going to go boom left, and when I wanted him to go right, and so I had that moment, and I almost stopped breathing actually, like, and Tracy was like, "Come on, you're good," but I knew what to do. Yeah. And you have to remind yourself in these moments that you have the skills, and it wasn't anything bad, like it was so minor, but it's just that split second of fear that can creep in, or not even creep, boom, hit you, and then you sort of work through it. And I know you had that. No, I don't know if you had it as extremely as I do, where you felt, but you just get these moments. Yeah. And then I reached out and held your hand. Your face was like just sort of frozen.
Because I was like, holy shit, what is happening right now? I don't like this. And then I stopped and I had a chat to Lainey. I said, Lainey, I don't like this. I I don't want you to do that again, okay?
Can you please speak English, horse?
Yeah.
Hear what I'm
Please
saying?
do that. And then Tracy's like, oh, enough you go do another canter. And I'm like, so when you reached over and said, are you okay? That was good timing.
Was it?
Perfect timing. I just had to stop for a minute and collect everything. And then I was like, oh no, I can do this. And then of course exactly the same thing happened. And I think anyway, it was our first time out in that paddock.
Yeah, it was our first time. But actually, by the end of it, I loved it. I loved it. Did you? Well, what is funny?
Love is a strong word for what was happening with me out in the paddock.
What is funny about this, and you not loving it and me saying I do, is because as we were riding through there, I said, just for the record, I want it known that I did not agree ever to do cross country when Oriel suggested we compete in cross country. Yeah. I never said I wanted to do this. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh no, that was fun.
That was fun. Whereas I'm like, what have I committed to? Why did I say that out loud? Everybody now knows it. Can I back out? Is it too late?
Yes, you can back out. I said, I just want it known it was hacking and dressage.
But what it shows to me, and every time we have this sort of, again, it feels like you're going a bit backwards. It just reminds myself that it's going to take time. Yeah, and that today was okay. Yeah, it was quite scary at times. But to take Lisa's point seriously, he wasn't going that fast. He honestly felt like he was. Yeah. It's going to take time. Yeah. It's going to take time for me to get the courage to do that and get the strength to know what to do and to be okay with being not out of control, but a little bit out of control. Yes. And to be able to back myself enough that I'm going to be able to do the right thing.
To just pull him up and
just going to take it. I'm going to take it slow. And was what I came off today with. Oh my God, I thought I was more ready. Yeah. But I'm not, and that's okay.
But also doing something like what we did today does show you we don't want to get a false sense of security. In the arena, right? Yeah. So Tracy's done the absolute right thing by putting us out into a paddock and being like, okay, start doing some different stuff. And both of us just went, oh, hang on, this has changed. Yeah. Now, I know with those sorts of things, I definitely need to warm into them and make sure that I'm feeling like confident. It sort of can rattle my confidence at the beginning. So that just in itself was a learning curve for me to go, oh, there's change, but I'm going to work through this change. Yeah. And I'm just going to do it at my own pace. And then when the pace that I was doing it at wasn't good enough for the other guys, which was fine, I was like, no, you can do better here. Yeah. Pick it up, Marissa. Yeah. Pull up your big girl pants and pick it up.
And that's exactly what you did.
Yeah. And but that's great. It's so great. So it was a roller coaster today.
It was literally up and down. Up and down.
I said, this is going to be a spicy recount of this lesson today. We got a lot to talk about. But well done you, because you really cantered around that paddock quite a bit. And whether you were quietly,
shitting
yourself.
Sorry about the language.
You looked really good. So,
thank you.
You held it well. Yeah. And then the funny thing that happened, which we've got some video evidence of, is we rode a mechanical horse before we got on the real horses today.
Yes, we did.
So that was to teach us how to move our pelvis, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was hilarious.
And you were riding it like a bucking bronco with one arm in the air. Straight away as soon as you hopped on, and then whereas I got on and I did my serious face on, I'm going to be able to do this.
You actually had a frozen smile, like you weren't allowed to move any muscle in your whole body.
Really trying to be straight, right?
Yeah.
This problem with the very, sort of
moving wiggly horse. It was the funniest thing. So yes, we've got some funny video footage to show from today.
Yes, and we will.
Yeah.
We'll show it. But now.
Yes, now.
Woohoo!
Let's have a chat.
So very, very excited to say we've got a very special guest with us today. Yes, welcome, Nat.
Special. My mum calls me special.
Is that a compliment?
Yes. Well, it's what you make it, Oriel. It's exactly what you make it.
Yeah.
So I make it special.
You make it special. I could say something else, but I won't. That would be rude. So, Nat, 5 times. You are a 5-time Olympian. It absolutely blows my mind that much pressure 5 times. You went back and did it again and again and again.
My maths is bad, so how many years is that?
So that's good. I test that on my 9-year-old, and I do test it when I speak in audiences to go, how many years did I commit my life to if I went to 5 Olympics? And when the kid says 5, not good. So it is every 4 years in theory. There was one COVID cycle where it was 5 years and then 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it is 4 years between Olympics times
4
5.
times 5, we're
20.
at 20, and
But
then
it's-
obviously the pre-work,
I was
The
right?
gonna
pre?
say,
Yeah,
it must be
yeah.
over 20 because then you would have needed all the years to lead up to that.
Mm.
Yeah, that I mean the obsession started at 8. So I have a 9-year-old. I do not see my 9-year-old having an obsession.
No.
I often ask my mum, what was it about? I started as a swimmer. She was an infant swim teacher. Dad was a semi-professional footballer for Crystal Palace. So I had a bit of sporty spice gene in me. They'd never pushed me. And Mum told me literally last week that I used to push her to get out of bed at 5:30 to take me to the pool.
Wow.
She wanted to roll over and go back to sleep. And I said, no, come on, grab the toe. Let's go. Got to go to the pool. Got to get better. And I was 8.
Wow.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
so that probably means that, like, when we look at our own children and people think I've got a child prodigy, that we don't, because by our kids' ages now, they're not doing that to me.
They are not
They're
doing
not
that
doing
to me
that.
either. No, there's no.
Well, and I
there's
think I was late. I heard someone the other day, they were, the tennis players might be 3.
What?
Serena Williams' daughter, Olympia,
Yeah.
potentially named after the Olympics, and her
Yeah.
experience at the Olympics is like, the rackets are in their hands, and Tiger Woods, the golf club in his hands at 2.
For sure.
Now, I'm a big believer to play as many sports as you can early up, and I did that until I was 15, and then a sport picks you or you pick a sport, but as many different experiences, individual, different sports, team is very, very important.
Yeah.
How did you pick it? Beach volleyball.
Well, I tried everything literally at school, from BMX to taekwondo to basketball to tennis to golf to water polo to badminton to table tennis. There was not a sport except horse riding.
Hey Nat, there's still time.
I'm trying to get Nat to go.
There's
horse
still
riding.
time. Bailey would suit Nat.
Bailey's
your boy.
Bailey.
Well, I used to have a shirt that said "does not play well with others." So Bailey might. When I was little, I was on the pony ride, and my brother, who was younger than I, walked behind the horse, and the horse got scared and bolted, and I ended up under the horse. The stirrup broke. So horses and I have a thing, but so that might not.
There's still time.
There's
Nat.
still time. There's still time.
Watch this space. See how
Yeah.
convincing we can be.
We'll talk to Nat again.
Listen
in a
to
year.
more podcasts about your Thursday
Yeah.
training sessions.
Yes.
But
I'm gonna have to listen to today. I don't know whether she'll walk away rather than come towards us.
I'll practice throwing my leg up. I'll see how I go. But
Practice getting a leg over.
yeah, it was interesting. I was pretty good at most sports, and then volleyball was the only. Most people play sport because they're good at it or they like it. Volleyball was the only sport at grade 8 at Corinda High in Brisbane that nobody could play.
Oh.
I couldn't play. It gave me nightmares. Like, I'd go to bed at night thinking, why do I try and put the ball forward and it goes sideways? Did you ever play at school?
Yeah, I did.
And did it go sideways?
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, this perfect, like, what's that
Yeah.
called? A spike?
A
No,
dig, that's
dig,
a spike.
not a dick.
D-I-G, dig.
Dig. You can call it whatever you like.
Whatever you like, though, if that's what you think
And
about.
I said, no, I'm going to perfectly hit it on that wrist point. It would,
Never go there.
dumb.
And exactly,
all you
it was
think about
dumb.
it was dumb.
And so that's what happened. I'd go to bed at night trying to work out how to manipulate the ball to go in the right position, and I spent 20 years trying to do that.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's why the
But you
sport...
did it well.
You actually
I
did.
did. I got pretty good.
She did pretty well.
pretty good.
You did all right.
I got pretty good. Yeah, I committed my life to that, and again, it was the sport that I woke up in the middle of the night having cold sweats about because I couldn't work it out. And in the end, it was the one that got me. Volleyball at school, and then beach volleyball became an Olympic sport at the right time. I was picked out of a lineup, and they said, we'd like you to have a go at beach volleyball, and the rest is history.
Isn't that amazing? What would you have done if it wasn't beach volleyball as a career? Like,
Dad wanted me to play golf. I grew up playing golf with Curry Webb.
yeah.
I was born in Townsville. My mum was born in Ayr, and that's where Curry's from. And still, her family is in Ayr. Mine has since moved out of Ayr. So I grew up playing golf, schoolgirl golf, and Dad wanted to caddy carry my bag and we wanted to travel the world and we wanted to make lots of money. Instead, I won a water bottle and a hat playing beach volleyball. I did go to the Olympics 5 times. They did come too, and I got 5 tracksuits, 2 medals.
Wow.
And an amazing experience, of course. I wouldn't change it for the world, but
golf would have been it. So it would have been something in sport. Something in sport.
Related, Carrie does pay for dinner when we go out for dinner. So
does she? Yeah, good.
I'm trying to encourage both my sons to play golf.
Yes, it is a fabulous sport.
Well, it is that. It's exactly what you just described. And less chance of injury, right, than rugby.
Or falling off a horse.
Although
I know you practice to not fall off the horse, but that's my experience.
We do practice not to fall off, but it's definitely in the back of our minds all the time, for sure. It's interesting. My husband is a big golfer and loves, and would absolutely be thrilled if I said to him, I'll go out and play golf with you.
Yeah.
But he really wants me to do that. And I said to him, if I don't want to peak too early, I want to save something for retirement, you know. I'm not going to play golf in retirement. That sounds boring.
You might actually, because golf is actually okay.
You know,
don't you start with the boring?
No, I don't think it's boring. I don't have the patience for it. I am not centered enough to commit. There's probably
a girl who won't do yoga. She won't do yoga.
Well, the theme of
There's
the potty,
probably something to unpack.
The theme of the potty is it's never too late, right?
It's never too late.
It's never too late. We will get you there. We will get a club in your hand.
Go.
Yeah, perfect.
I like it if there's drinks involved. I'm down for that part. Yeah.
Well, they did with golf. There is
chip and sip, paint and sip, ride a horse and sip. I'm sure.
No, that one doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Well, I don't think it would work for us. We would end up on the ground.
I had a few too many sips last night and almost ended up on the ground today.
So, Nat, you are on the board of the Brisbane 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Organising Committee, as well as everything else that you do. How do you do it all?
Well, I call it a portfolio approach.
I like that.
Right?
Yes.
So many different things. It probably goes to my butterfly everywhere mind.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could do the same thing from 9 o'clock in the morning till the old-fashioned 9 to 5. I do love the variety. That's why I do love golf. The ball never ends up in the same place twice, and it's a new adventure. Yep. And so being on the board, from the beach, hanging up the bikinis to go into the boardroom, and being the steward for the largest sporting event in the world to come to Brisbane is I'm so grateful. I'm so proud to be able to be the advocate for the athlete, which is at the bottom of the food chain of the sports ecosystem, and make sure that their voice gets heard through me. So I got a loud hailer every day talking about the athlete, and then all the way through to an active women executive group that I started to give women the opportunity to try new things and in a safe, friendly, fun environment, because most women are afraid, especially for golf, where it's has been male dominated in the corporate space, to try and drop the barriers and limit the intimidation, and we have a great time. And I get female professionals or professionals along to help us all out. So I do that as well as corporate speaking, as well as trying to look after a 9-year-old. Tired thinking about it.
But that active women executives and talking about golf, I went along to one of the golf ones and I said to Nat, I'm terrible at sports. Any sport, doesn't matter. Was not built for sports.
She keeps saying these things, yet I need to remind her she was an aerobics instructor when she was going through uni.
That's the best coordination you can get. I can see you now in your fluoro headband and your long.
I said the same thing.
I did have fluoro. But that doesn't involve a ball. I should say I'm terrible at ball sports. Absolutely terrible.
You did okay, though.
I did okay.
You did okay.
I did okay until you came and stood with our group and watched me, and then I did about 4 air swings. Like literally air swings. And I was like, oh my God.
Well, that's the pressure and the intimidation factor that we have to be able to, as women, let go of, right?
And as an Olympian, I'm sure, with all the viewers' eyeballs on your eyes, on your
eyes or my butt. My butt was the number one photograph thing in the world. My mum would write to me and say, "Your picture's in the paper, but it's not of your face.
It's your butt.
It's my butt.
It's the bikini."
Yeah. You know, my father-in-law, he has a very impressive story where he was actually working for the Australian Federal Police over the 2000 Olympics, and he was posted at your at beach volleyball
Oh
my
and
God.
watched the whole thing from go to woe.
Oh my
He
God.
loved it. I know, isn't that cute?
Did he take photos of Nat?
Yeah.
This is where I'm leading that story without, putting my father-in-law in it.
Yeah. I mean, they are the stories we like to hear about. Everyone has a story about where they were for Sydney.
Yeah.
And that's why, too, with Brisbane, it's like our generation, our kids are
So
going to
cool.
see this. And what are they going to be inspired to do? It doesn't have to be sport. It's about Olympic-size goals for their life. And whether that's music, education, academic, whatever it is they choose to do, how can they sort of aspire one level higher than without having the game? So get amongst it. Maybe you could be the security guard for the beach volleyball.
Hey, I'm
the
down
men's
for
beach volleyball, the women's beach volleyball,
I'm
whatever
down
tickles
to
your fancy.
Volunteer for anything.
Yeah.
I've already said, like, as soon as that Olympics comes, like, I am volunteering. I'll hand out water to people. I don't care. I want to be amongst it because what a cool event. And the kids, I think my eldest will be 18 when it hits. So we're going to have some fun times. I'm pumped for it.
So you've had this incredible sporting career, right? But you come out the end, you just mentioned the fact that the athletes are at the bottom, when it comes to organising the Olympics. They're at the bottom of the pile. So I want to touch on that. But first of all, like, you've come off the back of these incredible Olympic experiences. And did you just go then, well, what do I do next? Like, how do you're doing so much now. You've been so successful during Olympics and post-Olympics. How did you do that?
Yeah, how do you transition
How
out?
do you transition?
Yeah, well, fortunately or unfortunately, there wasn't money in our sport, which meant you always had to have an eye on how do I make a living? How do I make enough money for my sport? They're two different things, right? So you're trying to fund your sport and your dream because it's very expensive. And then you're trying to fund life. Can I get a deposit on a house? No. Can I get a car? Well, I got my car by asking for a free one.
Amazing.
So I was taught very early on, stop asking for money, ask for things that cost you money, and therefore you don't need money. Yeah. That was awesome at the time, but what it did in the transition was I had this thing that I didn't need money, when actually I do. If you want a deposit on a house, if you need a credit rating, if you need a credit card. So trying to transition that mindset, and it is a mindset, it's all in the mind. We can literally make it all up. But I know you've got a pod on, is it too late to get a super fund or to have superannuation? I retired at 38 with zero superannuation, $300,000 in debt, a whole lot of street smart skills. And
some really cool experiences.
Some amazing experiences, some great tracksuits, some good medals that everyone wants to see, but I can't ask you to pay $1 to touch my medal, right? It'd be nice.
Have an Apple Pay little thing.
And like in today's world, that would be amazing. And there is new ways. I've fundraised my whole career. So that helped me transition. To answer the question, I had a beach volleyball centre that I trained at, that I managed to convince the Queensland government to build, and then I called it Sandstorm. I ran that business. I trained in that business. I lost money in that business.
You put your own money into
Put my own money into the business, thought that was my superannuation fund, thought that everyone would want to play beach volleyball like me, $10, $20 to play beach volleyball. I learned about marketing, HR, how to buy your water and Coca-Cola and Powerade, and marketing, T-shirts, websites, all super. What do you mean I have to pay someone else super? I don't get paid super because I don't get paid to play beach volleyball. You win prize money, you get sponsorship. Every single cent goes into the next event. And if you're not winning or you're not getting sponsors, then you're broke and you're potentially not competing, and you've got to go get a job or a real job.
And then if you get a real job, you don't have time to
train. So the cycle continues, and so it is it's exhausting. And to be the best in the world these days is getting harder and harder. The gaps or the excellence levels are so minute in the difference between first and second. And it's finance, it's confidence, it's posture, it's skill. So you've got to have the best.
Marketability.
All of that comes into sport. It's not as easy as just go and run fast or just go and swim fast. You have to have, athletes of today have to have a brand. They have to have a social media presence if they want to monetize it. And so that's sort of where I transitioned into helping the next generation as my legacy, by creating the Aussie Athlete Fund, which teaches them how to ask for money, how to be rejected, how to build a brand, how to encourage others to support them on the journey. There are new mechanisms for fundraising that are tax deductible through the Australian Sports Foundation, which never happened when I was. It was door-to-door knocking.
Right.
I used to sell Yatla pies.
Oh, yum.
They're
Best
good.
pies.
Love
Yeah.
best pies.
But they were $5 back then. Do you know how much they are now?
Oh,
Have you bought one lately?
For a single pie?
For a
like
family size?
Pie? Aren't they like 25, $30?
$20.
Yeah.
So that's how.
Yeah.
Inflation gets us
Well, there's
all
not
hard.
a lot you can put on the top of that, right, if you want to fundraise.
No, well, the thing with Yatla back then, and this is how the world moves. We used to get $2.50, and Yatla kept $2.50.
Yeah.
Now in the $20 pie, you get 50 cents.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So difficult. That might not be an economically viable solution, but I've had to learn about super. I've had to learn about all things outside of work, and I never had a job. Never had a job. Didn't know what super was. Didn't know someone else was responsible for paying that, and I learned a lot.
So, but it's hard, right? It's hard, and you have a level of confidence being an athlete, being an Olympian. You have to have a level of confidence to get there. Did that?
But in that skill, so then how do you transition that out?
That's right. And such a like focus,
narrow
hyper-focus
niche.
on it.
I was really good hitting a ball in a sandpit in a bikini, right?
Yeah.
Where does that translate in life?
Yeah. When you put it like that.
Yeah, not so much.
No.
So you have to, that's what we teach the athletes as well, how those values and those soft skills, they used to call them, they're quite hard to learn, attitude and aptitude and excellence and discipline and teamwork, and how do they translate across to a vocational or another opportunity.
They directly translate, in my view, into leadership. That's what those skills translate into. But you have to back yourself if you're going to go out into the leadership world in any shape or form, don't you?
Yeah, because how do you lead in a niche that you've never done anything in? So that ultimately is how we did position ourselves as corporate speakers. I speak agnostically across every area, from taxation to employment to nursing homes to sports so I can speak at that level of confidence and teamwork and leadership across all sectors, but no one's going to employ me in that sector. So that's why it's a portfolio approach. And I've collected, I call it collecting my money, and I was a professional beggar for a long time to try and fund my sport.
Yeah.
And I'm a collector of different opportunities to raise money, and it doesn't come from one source. And I think athletes have to learn how to do that.
Would you do anything differently?
If I went back?
Yeah.
What I try and teach the athletes is when you ask, so you build up the courage to ask for something and you get one apple, it's like, oh, we've got to go back and ask again. And so what I'm teaching them is how to ask for sustainable produce.
Yeah.
And it literally starts with
An apple tree.
yes.
An apple tree.
Can I have a seed to plant?
Yeah.
And it comes from the old money tree.
Yeah.
My dad used to say, "Do you think money grows on trees?"
Yeah, mine did
and
too.
and I don't know if you've planted $5 out the back and
Doesn't
hope.
work,
I tried that.
Yeah,
it did not
it
work.
Doesn't work.
So unfair.
So one of the first challenges I get the athletes to do is to go to the local fruit shop and ask for a free box of fruit. And they look at me like I'm weird. But it builds so many skills in crafting your story, building up the courage, asking, get surprised if they say yes, work out what happens if they say no. And so what I would have done is, how do I craft that message so that I get a fruit box forever? Or for weeks, not, oh no, I've asked now, they've given it to me, what do I do now?
How do you?
You seed it into the initial conversation. I have a 7-year dream, so imagine I'm a young beach volleyball athlete, because when I started beach volleyball, it was 7 years to go till Sydney. It was 1993. So here we are in 2025 with an Olympics in 32. I'm a young beach volleyball. I have 7 years to go, which lets the fruit owner know this is not today's mango.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is an ongoing. So I have, and it's in your storytelling.
Yeah.
I have a dream to represent Australia at the Olympics in 2032, and my costs are X.
Yeah.
I travel overseas. I eat. I love your fruit.
Yeah.
Would you consider? So again, you're inviting.
Yeah.
So there's a softness in inviting versus
Demanding
and asking and expectation, and how do you involve gratitude in there, and how do you bring the courage and the confidence so that they know that, hey, I can back this kid, because the kid backs themselves. And it's all this cake ingredient, I've never made a lemon meringue pie the way my grandmother does, because of the temperature of the lemon, the type of the lemon, the care she puts into it. So when you're an athlete, it's the care in your pitch and your presentation and your belief, and we teach that. So crafting the story. I'd love you to be involved in my journey. My next event is Adelaide for the World Championships in November. I'd love you to consider this for that. But then should I keep going, I want you to be a partner.
Yeah, for the whole journey.
I want you to join my journey. I want you to be part of the team.
Yeah.
And so that's how it starts.
Yeah.
But originally I went, can I just have a mango? Can you just give me one?
Yeah.
And then you got to keep going back. So how do you plant the tree? How do you plant the orchard? How do you then sell it?
Yeah.
The entrepreneurial mindset is something we're trying to teach.
I was going to say, I was literally, as you were talking, I'm thinking there's so much entrepreneurialism or entrepreneurship that comes into all of this, right? And it's actually not something kids are taught at school. And, we both have been, I've had my own business for 11 years, and Oriel's got her own businesses, and we've always, had to hustle and do those things that are outside our comfort zone. But it's that you learn on the job, and you learn through mistakes, and you learn through trying, and then you go back wiser in a different state. But there's so much richness in people learning those skills at an early age, because, and not to say you don't need to learn them as your life goes on and refine them and whatever, but I think there's a massive gap in skills and in understanding and what is taught in schools and in unis in that space. Because so many business owners in our country, right? It's like 75-80% small to medium business owners. Yet we learn on the job. We don't learn those skills from anywhere. So I love that you're doing that with those athletes at that point when they're going to need them for their longevity to get through. Yeah.
But it comes back to that point earlier. You do have to back yourself, don't you, to get in front of that fruit shop owner. Yeah. You have to be able to do that, to go, I'm going to be strong enough to do that. Is that faking it till you make it?
Yeah, I have a book called Go Girl. I wrote it in the lead up to Sydney from 96 to 2000, and how we went from bronze to gold. I wrote it as journal entries. So that was part of my mental training and mindset training, to write journals. And it was always going to be, if you win this thing in Sydney, you've got a book. And then the last chapter is your experience, which
That's
became...
so cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, which became the first chapter, because no one wants to read through it all. So, when you tell the storytelling and the movie, it's like, so that the first chapter of the book was gold found on Bondi, and then talked about the gold medal experience, and then went into how it all happened. Yeah. In my book, there is a chapter on fake it till you make it. Now, many people have different ways of act as if. They have all these different ways. But it is, you have to build your posture. You have to build your story. You have to somewhat fake it and lie to yourself. 9 out of 10 for me was doubt in the beginning. And then by the time I finished, it was 1 out of 10 was doubt, and the rest was confidence. The doubt doesn't go away. No. Especially when you think you've nailed it and the ball goes out, you're like, still there. Yeah. How do you reset for the next point? But in getting ready for that, I remember a time training, and 20 years of training, I try and blur it out. It usually comes to one line, but there are some small experiences where I remember being on the sand here at Sandstorm, my beach volleyball centre, face first, sucking up like a vacuum cleaner, sucking up sand because not going to plan, my face first in the sand. And I was laying there waiting for someone, my coach, to maybe come over and tap me on the shoulder. Like when you're in a football team or you're in a netball team or and they come and grab you and they say, get up, here's a hand.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
No, nothing happened, right? And then I was laying there going, well, at least I'm getting a rest while I'm sucking up the sand. Yeah. I'm trying to see whether Kerry's coming or my coach Steve's coming. And then eventually Steve walked over and he put his head over and he whispered, "No one's coming." And I'm like, just wanted to punch him.
Yeah.
And it really has. It's like this little voice in my head that it doesn't mean you don't have the support of your team and you surround yourself with people to support you. But at the end of the day, the only person that can get me out of bed, put my big girl pants on, get myself dressed is me.
Yeah.
And that's what he meant. He's like, in beach volleyball, the coach can't contribute to the game. They sit in the stand. They're not allowed to contribute. They're not allowed to tell you what to do. So he was trying to say to me, it is all on you and your dreams and what I turned that into was that my dreams and my life is dependent on my action and my mindset, and screw everyone else that has their own opinion of what that is, because there are people that say you can or can't or ridicule you or try and kneecap you or clap and cheer, but they won't do anything. They won't give you fruit. They'll tell you where to go and get the fruit. And so no one's coming. If no one was coming, what would you do?
And how would you do? So it's not about constantly waiting for someone to come open a door for you or offer you a job.
Or wait for the apple to fall out of the tree, climb the tree and pick the apple.
Yeah. So what happens then if you have like the opposite mentality, which I do, where I believe that Ariel and I are going to be at 2032 Olympics. I just don't think it's too late for us in equestrian. Obviously. So this is where I went with this.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, obviously not golf. And so I truly believe, and I have this joke with my friends, dressage riders can be really old going to the Olympics. So there's hope, right?
There is.
I can't say never.
Andrew Hoy's been to 8 and he's 62.
He is my inspiration.
Yeah, he's 62.
Yeah. So I was feeling really positive about this situation in my mind. I don't think I'd shared it with you, but when Tracy...
No, you hadn't shared it. I didn't know we were going to the Olympics. It's good to know, though.
Yeah,
just planning
just
time.
The Brisbane one. We don't have to fly horses anywhere. It's fine. So we then, Tracy, just decided to do this routine with us a couple of months ago, which was where we both come in on the horses in a routine, and we're a pair and we do all these things, and it's called a pas de deux, the ballet thing. Partnership. So I was at the beginning of this lesson, I'm thinking, fuck yes, this is it. We are going to be this dynamic duo, Ariel and I. This is how it's going to happen. And I saw it.
I can see it now. You're painting it perfectly.
She is, isn't she?
I was this is how it's going to happen. We're into this arena and we're going to go, oh my God. Anyway.
Didn't happen
in about I think 60 seconds, my dream had gone from here to crashing on the ground. I was like, we are fucked. We can't do any of this. We are so shit.
What happened? It didn't.
We were
nothing
different parts of the arena at different times.
But that's where it all starts. It starts messy and it starts like that. But you've got 7 years.
We've got 7 years.
And this is my point. I've bounced back. And I'm like, no, we've still got it. We can do this, or I just need to do the part where I buy the horse.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, so that is important. You need, when you fake it till you make it, it's a good start. You get in front of the mirror, you put your shoulders back.
Superman pose.
Yep. You get out there and you think, I can, I will, I must, I can do this. And then you go out and fall off the horse. And then you come back but you've bought the horse. Part of the plan, buy the horse.
Buy the horse.
Well, no, you've now taught me I need to be given a horse.
Yeah. Well, don't stand there and wait, though. No one's coming. You go out and ask.
I'm going to go ask for the horse.
Because you have a dream.
So, Ariel, can I have your horse?
You two could be the next Roy and HG, right? You could do that for the Olympics if your horse riding doesn't work out.
What do you mean if it doesn't work?
It's plan B. And
do you have a plan B in this mindset? Isn't it all about plan A?
No, plan A to Z you have to have. Plan A to Z and which one you pick out at any given time, because I don't want ever an athlete to go, I only had plan A, it didn't work. Well, how many times did you try? So the beauty of the fruit shop too is if the first fruit shop guy says no, you go to the next one 100 metres down the road. So there's always another fruit shop. In Brisbane, there would be 500 fruit shops.
Find another fruit shop. You're not having my horse.
Yeah.
Damn it, I tried.
Well, can you rock
down?
So instead of 2 horses in synchronicity, which I imagine like artistic swimming,
I'll show you the video.
Would you get both on the same horse? Maybe then you only need one horse. So why manipulating the plans is good too. Share the horse.
Share the horse.
Yeah.
Who's the front and who's the back?
And you could do back to back. They faced each other, and you could watch arse end, and you can watch the front end.
Now
This
we're
is
talking.
beautiful.
You should be
This is
doing
wonderful.
podcasts from the horse.
I don't think they do this in the Olympics. So.
Invent a new. We have a window where you're allowed to apply for new sports.
Is that right?
Yes. Well, that's how hip hop got in, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And went
the
back out.
breaking and
The
ray gun.
breaking,
Yeah.
ray gun. Yeah.
And we had a boy dancer too called J Attack, and poor Jeff was the second day after ray gun. So ray gun took the world by storm, and then we did have a young 16-year-old boy breaker who still breaks,
Wow.
and he's in our Aussie Athlete Fund, and we help him to get overseas to represent Australia in breaking. So you can invent. What would you call it? 2 on 1. What would you call it?
I don't know.
So that's a challenge for you.
It's a tandem. It's like a tandem mount, isn't it? There we go.
I don't think that's a good name. Let's just go back to the drawing board. That's no good.
Tandem mount.
Okay, but that's a challenge for you. See, and I do challenge the athletes to build a brand and a name for their journey. So we have an athlete called Amelia Search, and she is a heptathlete, so she is Search for Gold. Right?
That's good.
So you come up with your slogan / tagline for your pursuit.
I love it.
From head to
I love
tail.
it. From head to tail.
There you go. Gotcha covered.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But then that again would be about believing in yourself.
Well, I believe in you.
Well, I believe in you too.
Oh, what a beautiful moment.
You wait Olympics.
You wait.
They're coming after you.
Coming for
Yeah.
you. And if
7
not,
years.
we'll do the commentary on the equestrian. I can't even say half the words, but we'll give it a shot.
We'll give it a shot.
You should give it a shot, and you should do it as, regardless if anyone else listens to it, it would be.
Are you suggesting
We'll
that
just
there are
live
people
YouTube
listening?
it.
Well, whether they're listening to the official commentary of the games or they are watching it on TV and listening to your commentary.
Yeah, we'll be the goggle box of the Olympics.
Love it.
There you
See,
go.
see what we're creating. And
Yes.
ultimately, the whole point is you got to make shit up and you got to believe in it and you got to have fun in it. And wherever it comes from, wherever the inspiration comes from, I can stand there and say, I helped those two
Yes, you did.
invent that shit.
Yes, you did.
Make that shit up.
Make that shit up. We made it up.
Yeah.
We made that shit
I
up.
love it. I love it. See?
So
Beautiful.
at this point, when you look at your life now, as it is, after you've made shit up, and you've made so much happen for
And I
yourself,
still do every day, make shit up.
But you've worked so hard for it. Like, this has not been something that, on a lighthearted manner, you've made a lot of stuff up. You've worked really hard. Now, where you are now, with the age you have under your belt, the experiences you have under your belt, and you look ahead, how difficult does it look to keep building? Like, is it, so 40s, 50s, is it getting harder? Is the experience making it easier? Are you, can you still do that? Can you still change your life at 40 or change your life at 50 and do something different?
Well, I think you can. I think you can just get a journal that's blank. And if you don't like what you've been writing the last 12 months or the last week or the last day, turn the page, write a new one, right? And I think that's as important. Stick it up around the wall. The problem now is we have files in our phones, and it might be on your screensaver, but the old-fashioned vision board behind the toilet door, in the car. We surrounded ourselves with gold, and I see a gold cocktail. What's that thing called?
Oh, yeah, like a little drinks
A
cart.
drinks cart,
Yeah.
probably not conducive to Olympic gold medals,
No,
but it's gold.
It's gold.
And
So there we are.
does turn my attention. I had everything in my life was gold, from gold sheets to gold car to gold sunglasses to gold bikinis.
You're joking.
I washed in Palmolive gold soap.
Stop it.
Yeah, so that it was part of this immersion of my life and my DNA and my being into that. So when you go into that next chapter, I do think we get cynical and jaded. The experience helps navigate, take shortcuts. Sometimes shortcuts don't work. No one's coming. Ultimately, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's how do you keep one eye focused on the gold? And gold for me now looks different. Gold for me is about how I have all of the athletes financially well and having a sustainable athlete economy through the Aussie Athlete Fund. So that's until that happens, I'm not happy, and I'm on a gold medal journey for that. And one eye on the process. So you've got to buy the horse, you've got to get the plan. And you just stay focused. It doesn't always go to plan. It's like a roller coaster. It's up, it's down. Sometimes you go backwards. Sometimes sometimes you're dragged up, sometimes you're thrown out, sometimes the roller coaster breaks and you sit upside down for a long time and you're like, am I going to die?
Yeah, that's happened to me.
Really?
No, not really.
Well, I just heard that happen the other day, and so, you know, there's so many stories I could share, but I love Movie World down the road from us, and there's a Superman ride, and Superman was you said it before about your posture. I have a Superman cape. I used to wear it when it got hard for Natalie Cook, and I knew Superman could do it. Superman can always
alter ego, right?
Can do it.
Yeah,
You need one of those. So the best way to I could never afford to go to Movie World. It's expensive, right? Especially. So if you go at 4:45, they don't charge you because there's only 15 minutes left. I would go into the little shop. I'd tell them, I'm only going to the shop. I need to buy a cape. I'd buy lots of capes. Now I've got all the Avengers colours and Flash and Green Lantern and anything. Batman. And there's a Superman ride.
There he is.
So I get one go on the Superman ride.
And you're out. All for free.
All for free.
That's so cool.
Don't tell them I sent you if you're up for that, but you've got to wear your cape. And it really is.
You've got to wear your cape.
You've got to wear your cape on the ride.
And don't be scared of the ride.
Oh, don't be scared of the ride. But that life does go like that. So it's what you make of it. It's how you relate to it. It is scary. You have to strap yourself in with the roller coaster. You know, don't go on a roller coaster like that without putting your harness on.
Yep.
And make sure you've got everything covered and have a crack. Just have a good crack.
Yeah.
Leave no stone unturned. That was leave no stone unturned, so that when the games finish or your goal line finishes, you're like, I did the best I could.
Yeah.
And when you can stand there like that, gold, silver, bronze, tracksuit, or missing the games, then you can sleep at night.
Yeah, because you left it all out there and did everything you could. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so good. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. It was a really fun chat.
It
I
was
loved every
awesome.
part of that.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
And keep on the horse, not off the horse.
Yeah,
Keep
stay
on the horse.
Yeah, bum in the saddle.
And we will get you on.
Oh, there you go.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
we'll
pumped.
get you
I'm
on.
actually pumped you're coming. You're absolutely coming.
Yeah.
Make one of your women's things
Well, that's
there
what-
and then I'll
We
do the...
Ariel is trying.
I
Yeah.
am trying. And I've
Yes.
even put Nat and the wonderful Lisa in touch.
Yes.
They've been
Yes.
Yeah,
having
we need to push
discussions.
this.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
I'll
happening.
give it a
Yeah.
fair
Yeah,
shove.
yeah, I know
What
you
do want,
will.
Nat?
I know you will. Oh, so fun. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Nat. And that brings us to the end of this week's episode, doesn't it?
it's sad.
High five.
I know.
High five, ladies.
Bye.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi.